Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to the Carpathian Mountains in western Poland. The rolling hills here are covered in thick forests of European beech, silver fir, Norway spruce, sycamore maple, and mountain pine, with dwarf juniper and green alder forming dense pockets. The largely uninterrupted forests here host red deer, roe deer, wild boar, and chamois. The predators here are some dangerous and wily critters, including wolves, Eurasian lynx, wildcats, and brown bears. This little bit of wilderness is the focus of some big controversies. Poland's national management policy allows for a balanced utilization of resources, such as timber. Companies are allotted a specific amount of timber to harvest to provide for the nation's exports and national use, but this policy is not without its detractors. The Wild Carpathian Initiative and Greenpeace have been monitoring timber harvests here and opposing the management of the forests under the logic that wilderness should stay wild and untouched by human development. They point out that timber harvests upset the lives of the 150 Polish brown bears and use disruptive tactics to drive home their points. During the fall of 2023, eco-activists were attempting to prove logging activity had driven a brown bear from its den. A pair of activists from Germany, whom we will refer to as Hans and Otto, traveled to the Polish Carpathians to document the evacuation of the brown bear den and point the light of public attention on the policy. Now, the eco-activists' tactics didn't exactly garner them a whole lot of support from those outside of their cause. They were known for harassing foresters and loggers while they did their jobs. Using dangerous tactics like driving metal stakes and nails into trees to ruin chainsaws was dangerous as the chain frequently broke upon contact with the metal, sending the chain whipping around. The dangers of logging were risky enough, and the added danger from the activists' actions only increased the danger to the workers. Michael Zowski, a spokesman for the Polish State Forests, had announced that a camera had been set up just outside the brown bear's den to film activity and monitor the impact logging would have on the snoozing bear. Most people know how massive brown bears can be, and European brown bears are no exception. They are known to reach around 8 feet tall and weigh in at around 1,000 pounds, which puts them slightly smaller than brown bears in Alaska and western North America. After arriving near the den, Hans and Otto had planned to execute a publicity stunt and simply walk up to the brown bear's den and peer inside. Once they had footage of the vacant bear den, any opposition to their perspective would be silenced. The disruption caused by the timber harvesting operation would receive the negative press they intended, and they may be able to develop more interest in ecological awareness amongst the public. As the Germans approached the brown bear den, they were bold and sure of their purpose and actions. They were convinced that the bear would have fled its den, with the loud engines and massive machines tearing through the forest. Hans and Otto confidently walked around the opening of the brown bear den and recorded a video of the vacant dwelling. After only a few seconds, the video showed a huge brown bear head popping out of the den opening. The sudden presence of the brown bear sent Hans and Otto's world into a tailspin. They scrambled back as the bear squeezed through the den opening with an ominous glare. As they fled through the forest, the bear pursued the duo and gained ground on the men quickly. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, the activists likely ran faster than they were aware they could. Hans was unfortunate in that a tree root reached up and tripped him as he fled. Before he could regain his feet, the brown bear was upon him, in a frenzy of claws and teeth. There is no source I could find that indicated where Otto had fled, but I'm sure he made it safely. The brown bear tore Hans from head to toe before deciding to return to its den and the piece of hibernation for which it had prepared. Once the bear had left the attack scene, first responders arrived to retrieve Hans and treat his injuries. He was airlifted to a hospital and initially listed in serious condition. Following the brown bear attack on Hans and Otto, the Wild Carpathians Initiative issued a public statement clarifying that the activists should not have disturbed the bear as it prepared for hibernation. The irony of the eco-activists being mauled by a brown bear they were trying to prove had fled the forest due to the timber harvesting efforts apparently went over their heads. There are estimated to be 8,000 brown bears in Poland in 3 isolated mountainous regions. Poland has recently formed a special police division dedicated to frightening brown bears away from cities and towns. Brown bears in Europe are reportedly less aggressive than brown bears in North America. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Is there a balance that can be achieved between the needs of bears and human civilization? Do bears need human intervention, or are they better off just being left alone? Did the activists disturb the brown bear more than the nearby logging did? I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so please post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.